All right, ready to dive into a big one. We're talking E. coli at McDonald's.
Hmm.
Now, I know you've seen the headlines, but this is more than just a news blip. This is a deep dive. We're going to uncover the layers most people are missing.
Right.
This story, it gets to the heart of our food system.
Yes.
Corporate responsibility.
Absolutely.
Even a chilling echo of a fast food nightmare from the 90s.
You're right to bring up the 90s.
Yeah.
This outbreak, it's got the attention of, well, even seasoned food safety professionals like myself.
Yeah.
In a way we haven't seen in a while. It's not just the numbers,
Right.
though they are concerning,
Yeah.
but the sheer severity and the speed of this particular strain of E. coli, it's got everyone talking.
So let's give everyone the rundown.
Okay.
This all began in September,
Right.
and it's snowballed since then. We've gone from a handful of cases to 49 confirmed cases,
Wow.
with 10 people hospitalized. And this is across 10 states: Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Oregon, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
I see.
And the thing is, this isn't just about, stomach bugs. It's serious.
Yeah.
There's been one fatality in Colorado,
Oh, gosh.
and even a child who developed really serious kidney complications.
And that's what makes E. coli so dangerous. These more aggressive strains, it's not just a quick bout of illness. It can be life-altering, especially for the very young, the elderly.
Which makes the whole McDonald's situation even more concerning, don't you think? Because it's not just any food item, it's the quarter pounder with cheese.
Yeah.
What is it about that burger?
That's what's got investigators scratching their heads, the fact that it seems clustered around this one menu item.
Right.
It raises a flag. It suggests maybe there's a contamination point specific to that burger.
Yeah.
Its preparation, or even a particular ingredient.
So, if we play food detective for a minute, we know ground beef in general can be a little riskier than, say, a chicken patty.
Uh-huh.
There's more surface area, more handling. Is that where the thinking's going with this?
It's definitely something to consider. Ground beef, just by its nature, has more opportunity for bacteria to spread during processing. But, the investigation is still early. Right now, the spotlight's on the onions.
Onions. Hold up. No, I get it. Food poisoning can be lurking anywhere. But onions, they're on practically everything.
Is
What
it?
makes them such a usual suspect in these cases?
Well, you're right. They are everywhere, and that's part of the issue. Onions often serve raw,
Oh,
which means no bacteria-killing heat.
Right.
Plus, they go through a lot of hands,
Yeah.
from peeling, chopping, dicing.
Makes sense.
Each step, you're increasing the risk of contamination if something isn't squeaky clean.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense when you break it down like that. But still, this is McDonald's we're talking about, a company known for its procedures, its consistency. How are they handling this whole thing?
Yeah, well, the stock market reacted pretty dramatically. Their share price took an 8% hit when the news broke.
Yeah.
That's a real-world impact that gets everyone's attention.
Right.
But in terms of concrete steps, they've acted pretty swiftly. They halted sliced onion distribution, pulled the quarter pounder from affected states, even some bordering ones, just as a precaution.
So it sounds like, what, standard crisis management 101? But is it enough? Are they going above and beyond, or is this just kind of par for the course with food safety scares these days?
That's where it gets interesting. It's hard to say definitively without being inside, their food safety strategy sessions.
Right.
But pulling a flagship product, even temporarily, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It suggests they're taking this very seriously, likely trying to avoid, any echo of that Jack-in-the-Box case from '93.
And that's the parallel I keep coming back to. For those who don't remember or maybe weren't even born yet, that was a turning point in how we view fast food safety, wasn't it?
Absolutely. That outbreak, also involving E. coli, was tragic. Resulted in 4 young lives lost and countless others with long-term health issues. Really forced the industry and, frankly, all of us to confront just how vulnerable our food supply chain can be.
And it's not just about McDonald's now, is it? This is a reminder that E. coli can happen anywhere. From, fancy restaurants to our own kitchens. But because of their scale, their reach, how they respond has huge implications.
Yeah, exactly. They're under a microscope, not just by health authorities, but by consumers.
Right.
Who now, we have decades of heightened awareness about foodborne illness.
Right.
This isn't the 90s anymore.
Right.
People are less forgiving.
Yeah.
Information spreads faster, and that demands, different level of corporate accountability.
Which makes you wonder, has the industry really learned enough since then? I mean, Jack in the Box, it led to stricter regulations, new protocols. But is it enough? Because here we are again facing a similar crisis.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The 93 outbreak, it was a wake-up call, no doubt. Suddenly, food safety wasn't just some, back-of-house concern. It was front-page news. And yeah, it led to positive changes, more stringent government regulations, especially around ground beef, and the industry itself adopting HACCP, which is a much more rigorous system for identifying and controlling hazards.
HACCP, that rings a bell. Remind us what that is again.
Basically, it's a proactive approach. So instead of reacting to outbreaks, HACCP focuses on preventing them in the first place. You're analyzing every single step of the food handling process, identifying potential hazards, like contamination points, and then implementing really strict controls to minimize those risks.
More an ounce of prevention than a pound of cure type of deal.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Before HACCP, it was mainly about checking the final product for problems. HACCP shifts the focus to preventing those problems from ever arising by scrutinizing the entire process from farm to fork. It's a much more comprehensive approach.
Okay, so HACCP comes in, things get stricter, but I mean, are we at the point now where these systems are foolproof? Or does this McDonald's thing show there are still cracks in the system?
That's the heart of it, right? I mean, HACCP was huge. Don't get me wrong. It's the backbone of, modern food safety.
Yeah.
But even the best systems, they rely on people.
Right.
And humans make mistakes.
Yeah.
Plus, we're talking increasingly complex supply chains,
Yeah.
new food technologies, and, those evolving strains of bacteria, always one step ahead, it seems.
Which is a little bit terrifying, if I'm being honest. So where does this leave us? Like, we can't exactly HACCP our own kitchens at home. Are we all supposed to swear off fast food, live on lentils, and pray for the best?
Well, I wouldn't recommend that, although lentils are delicious.
True.
But look, I think awareness is key.
Yeah.
We can't live in a constant state of fear, but we can be informed. So pay attention to food recalls.
Right.
Even if it's not something you eat, because it might be a tip-off about a bigger problem.
Right, like a canary in a coal mine for our food system in a way.
Exactly. And this is going to sound basic, but hand-washing people. This isn't just your mom nagging you. It's your first line of defense. And when you are preparing food, especially things like ground meat, cook it thoroughly. Don't be afraid to use a meat thermometer. Make sure.
Okay, so no more playing Is It Pink Enough Roulette. Got it. So we've covered a lot of ground here, pun intended. But if there's one big takeaway, one big thing you really want our listener to walk away with today, what would it be?
I think this McDonald's outbreak, as scary as it is, it's a good reminder. Food safety. It's not a destination. It's an ongoing conversation. It takes all of us, the corporations, the regulators, and us, the consumers. We've come a long way since the 90s, but there's always more to do. More we can learn, more to close those gaps and make our food system as safe as we can.
Well said. So here's something to chew on. Given what you now know about this outbreak, how are you going to approach your food choices? Think twice about that burger. Be more diligent about checking those recall notices. Food for thought, literally. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay healthy.